the washing machine isn't working. What's happening is it's agitating. So this is agitating, and then the second it's supposed to go into a rinse cycle, it's stopping. We kind of thought maybe something was wrong with the lid switch. We went underneath here and it was just kind of hanging there and it broke off. So we got a new lid switch.
Tools needed are a flat and Phillips screwdriver and a socket.
This was $35 at an appliance store. You can get this on eBay for less than $5. I just looked, it was $4.75 for a used one shipped to your door. And before we get started, plug the washer and unplug the dryer too. There's a Phillips screw on the back here, and there's one over here as well, and that will release the panel.
On some models you will remove the end cap covers and remove the screws on the front portion on the left and right side of the control panel.
Pull forward on the control panel, and that's going to disengage this, and then this will flip back. Next thing we're going to do is remove these two latches. Here I'm going to use my straight or flathead screwdriver, and you will push down. There's a little slot there, and you'll pull forward. There's one. Pull forward. There's two, and this is totally going to release the back. Next thing we need to do is disconnect the power to the lid switch. So this piece will come towards you and then pull up. Make sure you position your washing machine so you can tip this cover out. So this front cover is going to lift off. I like to angle this so that I have the cover of this, the control panel, leaned up against the wall. And now we're just going to tip this up and we'll remove this. Next we're going to have to get this connection here off for the washing machine. So there's some little tabs, you're going to squeeze these. So now I have that removed, and now we're going to tip this in so we can access the lid switch. You'll see that there's some black locking tabs up here, so we can pull those down and slide these out. This will drop right out. We'll also have this piece in here that will open up. There's two Phillips screws, and that will release this cover here. So when we're installing this, the screw holes are going to go up towards the lid, and that's going to allow this to come back and hit the switch that's inside of there. So I'm going to position this here, and then I'm going to screw that in with the two screws we have right there. So, gotten these tightened down. Remember, it's a piece of plastic on the other side, so if you snug it too tight, then you're going to just run into the issue of cracking the plastic that's holding this. When you pull this down, you should hear it click. So it's working. So next thing I'm going to do is push this up here. I'm going to lift up this locking tab, slide that piece under, and again there's another one here. So we'll get these wires, push the wires to the back, then we'll pull down and slide the wires back in. And then pull those. So after we got all the wires in, we're going to make sure we connect our ground wire, make sure that's tight. So now we have our ground wire tightened, we have our latch switch tightened in place, we have secured our wiring in both places, one's here and then one with just the straight wires here. And next what we're going to do is, if you can't get this to reach all the way over to the hole that you need here, use one finger to pull down and then the other one to pull the wires out a little bit. So now I've gotten a little bit more wires. You can see on here there's a little lip there, and that's going to go down into this part here, and then we'll push it through and you'll hear it attach. So that is secure, and now we'll put this cover back on. And now that it's apart, just real quick clean this off, just to clean it off. Probably doesn't really matter, but I like to do that. Now after cleaning up the top of this and everything in here, we're gonna stand this cabinet back up. So now next what we're gonna do, and be careful with this, these metal lips here, they can get kind of sharp. We're gonna take this cabinet and the front end is gonna go under here and the sides are gonna go on top on both sides here. So as we're pulling this cover back into place, what there is, there's a little notch here, and there's one in the back as well. That's going to secure it. And as you look here, you can see there's a hole here for the back one, as well as one in the front. And that's going to be on both sides. So that's going to be how you know if you have it secured in place. So as we put the cover back on, we're going to lift it up. So the back end is up, and we're going to slide this, look to see where we're at. We're going to slide that front cover under there, push it up tight with your foot, and this should fall back into place. You're going to use one hand, pull your back forward. And then I'm going to go here, and typically you can just wiggling it with your hand. I can tell that it's secured. I'll go down and check as well, but it's level, so I can feel that that's in place on this side. And we'll come to the other side, and that's sitting flush on that bar. We'll get our fasteners. So then as we put this back on, this fastener end here, the kinked up end is going to go into our slot here, and that high end will tuck under here. So I'm going to set it there. So after we have it there, we'll use our flathead or straight screwdriver. We'll put it in, and a quick hit on top. We'll pop that, and that side's secure. So next we're going to take our other one. This end goes up. We'll use our straight screwdriver and then push it down. And that side's secure. We will reconnect the power. So again, this flap is going to go over this little piece. Push it down and then pull up. Secure. Next we'll drop our control panel. And as you can see, there's 3 little locking tabs. You want to make sure that those sit inside those holes in place. We're going to push it down. And do the same thing on the other side. Push back and make sure it's tight. We'll screw in, secure our Phillips screws, and we're done. Plug in both my washer and dryer, and I can push this back up against the wall. I'm going to turn this on. I ran it through the wash cycle and it's draining right now, and it's going through a spin cycle, as you can see there. So it is working and we are good to go, so we can start doing laundry again.